Good evening and welcome to our 40th show. I think it's it's series 3, episode 6, I think, something like that. Yeah, we're doing our 40th show tonight, friends. I am so excited.
Huge.
It is huge.
Yeah.
It is huge. I mean, Josie and I have given birth to this thing. It's just amazing.
We'll be having our anniversary soon.
Yeah, we'll be having our anniversary. I'll have to figure out a good thing to do for that.
Yeah.
That'll be
We'll
fun.
do some balloons and glitter. We'll have Michael put glitter in the background when he edits.
When does
when
the
he
anniversary?
edits,
Yeah.
When's the anniversary?
Well, our anniversary
12
is
weeks.
April 6th.
Okay.
So that's our anniversary.
Cool.
I don't know if we'll be doing it on the 6th, but it's
Somewhere around there.
we'll party then.
Whenever we acknowledge 52.
Right. When we do that.
Yeah.
So, but I want to welcome you to move over to me. I don't have leprosy, believe me. Welcome you to Healthy Living with Marilyn. We've got a great show tonight. I am so glad that Josie's back. Josie.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
I hate not being here with you.
I know you do because we have so much fun.
I know. We have good chemistry.
We do. It's good energy. It's like, it's way cool. It's way cool. And
You're my yin, I'm your yang.
That's right. That's right. I'm your yin to your yang and vice versa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, Josie and I have been doing this almost a year, haven't we? And we just keep on trucking along. We just keep on having people come in, and Thursday night, it's like other things happen on Thursday night, but for me, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, there's other things, and it's like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm here because my viewers, you, are very important to me.
That's right.
That's right. And I want to welcome you to Healthy Living with Marilyn, and I want to thank you so much for spending your time, your 60 minutes with us. Yeah. Because that's huge. You could be spending it with somebody else. You could be doing whatever.
You could be asleep.
You could be sleeping. Well, if you're sleeping now, you probably wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. I would. But I want to thank you for joining me and Josie and my wonderful guest, Brian Tucker, who is my yogi instructor at Hot House Yoga, and he is awesome. He is awesome, and he has taught me a lot about mindset and how to keep your mindset, because when I started yoga, my mindset was like, when is this class going to be over? When is this class going to be over?
Now every time I turn around, I'm leaving hot yoga now.
I know.
I've been to hot yoga today, and
All
I'm
the
like,
time.
I know. But my thought process in the beginning, the first 3 or 4 classes was, when is this going to be over? Because I don't bring my watch in. I don't bring my phone. I bring my mat, myself, my water, which if you take hot yoga, a 16.9 ounce bottle of water does not cut it.
No.
I have been, Josie, I've been almost down to the dregs, and I don't know how much time I have left over, and it's hard.
Yeah.
So I bring a bigger bottle.
Yeah.
No, I'm not bringing 2. I bring a bigger bottle.
A big container.
And then I found that people were sprinkling their water on their yoga,
on the mat.
towel they put on the mat, cool. And it's like, that really worked.
Yeah.
What about if you put it in the freezer the night before?
I hadn't thought of that.
That's something I would try. I'd be trying to refrigerate my towel.
Refrigerate the towel? Well,
yeah. So it's nice and cool.
Well, I like the fact that I can put sprinkle water where I want to. And it helps with my mindset, because my intuition, which I'm very intuitive, said to me one day, Marilyn, if you're going to keep on thinking about how long this class is going to be, you are not going to make it through hot yoga.
Yeah.
You have got to change your mindset.
Yeah.
You've got to change your mindset. And so I totally went into a meditative state and for 30 minutes with my app that I have. It's binaural beta waves something, beta theta waves or something. And for a half an hour, I sat there and meditated, and how I was going to get this mindset to go into yoga the next day at 6 o'clock in the morning. and
stay present.
Yeah.
Stop trying to go forward.
When you think about, don't think about anything else. Don't think about it's hot in there. Don't think about you got to do dishes, or you leave all that stuff in the car.
Yeah, you're changing the question. You're asking different questions. Too.
Right.
Instead of saying, why did I do this? Why is it so hot? You're asking more empowering questions.
Right.
Like, what is this going to teach me? What am I going to learn?
And then I'm doing it for me.
Right.
I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing this for anybody else.
Right.
When you change your mindset, you're doing something for you, right?
Exactly.
And that is so important.
Exactly.
Because when you're doing it for you, it makes it easier. It makes it a whole lot more fun. I don't think funner is a word, is it? No.
It can be for today if you want.
It can be for today. It makes it funner.
Make it whatever you want
my
it to
kids
be.
used to use that word when they were kids.
Yeah.
Funner.
More enjoyable.
More
Yeah.
enjoyable. I mean, there's been a couple times when I've taken yoga there, and they'll say at the end, "It's been very nice. Thank you for being here and spending your time." And I'm thinking, I made it through the class, and I could go another half an hour.
Yeah, it's more kind and more loving on yourself to say, I'm doing this for me.
For
I'm doing it
me.
because I know that this is going to benefit me in some ways. I'm
Because you're
aware of
worthy
it,
of the
some way that
love.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're worthy of
Yeah.
self-love.
Right. And so I go in with, I'm loving myself.
Yeah.
I am amazing, because I'm writing this book called Be Amazing. So
Yeah.
I walk the walk and talk the talk. And I'm going to do this for me. I don't care how hot it is in there. I don't care how many people are in there. I
Yeah.
don't care if there's everybody that's just, has the figure of a Barbie doll. I don't care.
Right. I'm not.
I'm going in there for me.
Yeah.
Not to look at what everybody else is wearing or what everybody else looks like. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay focused and watch what I'm doing. And nothing around me bothers me.
And you can't be in a place where you're concerned about what's going on the outside. So the meditations, the ohms, my mantra is peace be still when I'm meditating, so that it
I
keeps
love
me
that.
in that peaceful state that nothing else can enter. So
Right. I mean, you have to do this self-talk. It's really important, isn't
Yeah.
it, Brian?
So
Do
positive self-talk.
Yeah.
positive self-talk. Have conversations with yourself. Talk to yourself. They say, well, if you answer yourself, my kids say, Grandma, my mother, their grandma, she talks to herself all the time.
She
It's
never
like,
gets the wrong answer when you talk
That's
to yourself.
right.
You
Yeah.
always get the right
Yeah.
answer.
I said, well, that's normal for grandma.
Yeah.
She's always talking to herself. She's walking down the hallway, she's talking to herself. That helps keep her organized. What little organization she has, that helps keep her organized. And self-talk is fine, because wherever you are, there you go.
Yeah.
When I
think-
talk to myself, it's so I remember what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, really?
From room to room, I have to say what I'm going in that room. Otherwise, I go in there and I'm like, why did I come in here?
I do the same thing.
So
yeah.
I just go out saying exactly what I want while I'm going there. So it can prepare itself to be ready for me.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you can also set your intentions, too, which is important, to become successful. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
How are you going to organize your day?
Why am I doing it? So this comes up a lot in class. Once we get to the halfway point and it starts to get kind of intense, the heat is really, really high. The sweat is rolling off your face.
And your
People stop
skin is
breathing.
glistening.
Your skin
It
is
so
glistening.
cool.
Right. And people's minds will start to wander. So the purpose of intention setting, when we come in the first few minutes, we immediately have you just dial in, check in with yourself. It's like, so why are you here today? What's the purpose of this? Are you dedicating this class to yourself or somebody else? And bring yourself back. So where if your mind is wandering, where are your thoughts right now? So bring them back to your intention that you set when you came in. So if you're starting to get carried away or overwhelmed, just remember, you came here for a reason,
That's
and come
right.
back to that reason.
And no matter what you're doing, you're there for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're there for no matter, if you're going to a class, if you're taking a college course, if you're going to a meeting, you're there for a reason. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but why are you there, and what do you plan to get out of the event that you're at?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So Brian, what got you into yoga?
Oh my goodness. So
From UVA to yoga.
Yeah, thank you. No, so this will be my 5th year of my own. I dabbled in yoga for a long time. I was a runner prior to discovering yoga.
He just ran
track.
He ran the Richmond Marathon.
I did.
In in November.
Yeah. No,
Were you a college track person?
I was not. I ran track briefly in high school, but
Okay.
I wasn't an athlete in college. No, I did music when I was in college and high school too.
So, and he ran with Aubrey, okay? Aubrey gets people to do things that, I'm telling you, Aubrey, I love you. I love you dearly. I hope you're watching. You're probably laughing right now. Yeah. But you get people to do stuff that they never thought they could do, like me, you know, and like Brian. Because I know Brian, I hadn't met Brian at that time, but he said, I said, is he run a marathon? No, but he's going to do it. It's like, okay, he's training for it. My daughter wants to run that marathon in November.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
I tried to run. I tried to train. I started running 10Ks back in 2010. So I went through a very, very deep period of depression, anxiety, and some really, really bad trauma that I was trying to work myself through. So running became my way of kind of recovering.
Working it
running
through.
was an active recovery process for me while I was going through therapy. So running really did a lot for me. I discovered yoga after getting a bit of an injury in my left leg.
Okay.
So yoga was really just rehabilitative therapy at
therapeutic.
first. And then I had some really, really good teachers who taught like really high level spiritual principles. They taught life lessons and they infused that into their classes. So that kind of led me to deepen my practice and eventually discover teacher training and start teaching, because I just know that what those people did for me when I was coming up, they really, really helped me. They're not famous people. They don't have these huge platforms. They're just like regular people who have been through some stuff and have a lot to share. So I think that everybody, you know, we all have medicine on our heart to give. And it doesn't matter how big or small your community is. Like, you can really affect people and really impact people if you just choose to get out of your head and just share from, you know, as best you can. So yoga was running therapy at first, then it became my main go-to modality. I recovered. I ran the marathon this past year.
Yeah.
It's mostly Aubrey's fault. She kind of dragged me into it. No, I'm just kidding. But but
Awesome.
that's how I got into it.
Yeah, so, and I find that hot yoga is very therapeutic. It's helped my arm tremendously and my ankle. And it stretches me. And anything that you're doing like that, yoga, exercise, running, walking, those will stretch you to the next level.
Oh, yeah. Because for me, yoga and Tai Chi are my two things
There you
that
go.
are my balancers. They fit my comfort level or my meditative level, because I like that kind of slow meditative movement. So the Tai Chi for me and the yoga. But I will one day venture to the hot yoga.
If you want to.
Before summer.
Let me know and I'll go
Before
with you.
summer.
Before summer.
He teaches a 45-minute class. That's the one to start out with. In my opinion, that's how I started.
Yeah.
Because
I think
Aubrey
that
said,
one.
do you want to do the hour class or the 45-minute? And I'm thinking, that extra 15 minutes that's not going to work. 'Cause I wasn't, number one, I wasn't in the right mindset. I was scared. I almost chickened out. But I didn't tell her till after the class was over. She says, Marilyn, you did it. It's like, yeah, and I almost chickened out. I did. Because Brian was teaching. He was out there in the lobby. I said, yeah, guys, I almost chickened out. I came this close to chickening out.
I remember being
Truly.
But you did it, and
But
you're
I
still
did
doing it.
Yeah.
And that's powerful.
And now you're doing 75-minute classes.
Yeah, I'm doing 75-minute classes.
I think anything that we do for the first time, there's that fear, there's that unknown. You know, that can either propel you to jump or push you to step back. You know, so if you don't make that jump and make that leap, you'll never know exactly what result you're going to get. So that's important.
Well, the other thing is with mindset, it's getting that grit, it's getting that courage to do something that you haven't done before. You know, my goal, and I talked to my daughter about this past week, my goal is to run a 10K. So in Mother's Day, there's a Komen race, and it's a 5K. And I told my daughter, I said, okay, we've done this race before.
Warm-up?
Yeah, that's my warm-up.
Okay.
We've done that race before, and I like that race, and I really like the end of that race, if they still have it on the same route, because the end of that race is straight downhill. And man, that's when I just turn it on and run down that hill as fast as I can. And it's like, I made it. I made it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the 5K, and then I'm going to work myself up to
What's
the
10K. The 5K is what, 3 points?
3.1 miles.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go 10K, which is 6.2, 2 miles. And eventually, maybe by the time I reach 70, I'll do a half marathon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's something I'm working up to.
That's right.
So,
Goal
but
setting.
Those are good goals.
This
Those are-
past, and Michael's laughing. This past, Michael, I'm 65. I got 5 years. You know.
I run also.
5
I
years.
don't want to run that
Well, I have bad knees, but my knees
I'll
are
walk
starting,
it.
my knees
Yeah.
are starting to get better. So, and one year when I ran the Komen race with my daughter, I had braces on my knees, like the Velcro braces, because I was determined to do it. And I was told, this was in my old world, and the kid's dad told me, you'll never make it that 3 miles. You'll never make it.
Leave the old world behind.
That's right.
Come into the present.
And come into the new world.
Come into the present.
But it was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I did it. So
There's power in having people tell you what you can't do.
because
There's
it
always
turns
a
it around
desire
and
to make you want to say, I'm gonna do this.
It's
Yeah.
it's what I call that na
Right.
attitude. You're not
Yeah.
going to tell me I can't do
it
something.
lights a fire under you.
I love
doesn't it?
challenges.
does.
I love when people doubt me, and I'm like, okay.
So
You
when
think
you're
I'm-
taking the yoga, when you're teaching the yoga, how do you get into the mindset? What do you do to get in the, because he teaches an hour class on Saturday, and then he gets a little break, like 30 minutes, and then he's back in for a 45-minute class. I don't know how they do this. I find that absolutely amazing. What is your secret to that?
So my mindset before I go in, I usually will take the 10 o'clock flow class before that. So
Oh, really?
I will start. I try
So
my
you're
best
there
to get there every
forever.
time. I get there to take this. I love that class with Kristen. It's a wonderful, dynamic, like really high energy, fun. That helps me kind of get into the mood and get into the flow, get out of my head, into my body. But even if I can't take it, my practices before I go in, I always meditate. I'm going to meditate today. I just carve out the time. Usually I'll do about 10 minutes or so. And I'll go in and I'll remember that, people need what I have to offer. I have something that I can give, and I keep myself in that mindset of, you are good enough. You have something to say. Just because you might be younger than many other students, it's still that does not mean that
There's
you can't
value in what you're...
there's still value in it, and you have something to offer. So meditation helps me kind of get into this frame of mind where I know that I can have something to offer and have something to give. It's also important for me as a teacher to make sure that everybody is getting something out of the experience every time. So you don't know, you might have people who are there for the first time, or you have like really experienced like veterans who've been there for a long time, but everybody deserves to have a really, really high level experience when they come in. It doesn't matter. So if you're tired, you still have to show up and really give the best that you have to offer. So coming back, so that mindset of I'm here to provide a service for these people, and they might really, really need something that I have to say for the next hour. Like, so my ego might be saying, well, I'm tired, or I didn't get enough sleep, or I had a long week. Well, we have to kind of leave that stuff behind for now.
Check it at the door.
Right, check it at the door. And those people are paying money to be there. They want something that we have to offer. So kind of just remembering, like, if you were them, you would want to get something out of it.
Absolutely.
You would want this to be worth your money and worth your time. So those two things, when I meditate, I always try to come back to, I have something to offer, I have something to say, and I want to provide the absolute best possible experience of hot yoga for these people. Yep. So that kind of just keeps me going, just seeing people get
so
something
it's
out
your
of it.
mindset that keeps you going back into that room 3 times on Saturday.
Well, so two things come up for me. Having a gratitude mindset, so I'm thankful. So I'll just say thank you. That's also a meditation. Thank you. Thank you for all these people. Thank you for all the things I had to go through to get in this position where I can teach somebody something else. Thank you. So when you're tired, or when you don't feel like going back in there for that 45-minute class, you rather take the class, or you rather go home because you're tired. Remember, thank you. Thank you. All these people came out. Thank you. I appreciate that. So they are here because they need what you have to offer. So remember, stay in gratitude for all of the things that are going on and all of the challenges. And secondly, I would say it kind of goes into your grit thing that we talked about a minute ago, but staying proactive. Like I'm responsible for my experience. I'm responsible for being here. It's my job to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable to what I have asked for and what the life that I've asked for and what I've called in. So, these people I'm here. These people are here. So let's do it. Let's
Does
rock and
grit
roll.
stand for something? Is it a?
No, it's like having. It's like
I didn't know if it actually had something.
Fortitude, having guts.
Yeah.
Having like that old movie with John Wayne, True Grit.
Yeah.
That to me is when you've got grit, you've got courage, you've got
spunk.
You've got the get up and go, you've got the spunk. You're gonna do it no matter how difficult it is, no matter how uncomfortable it is. You're gonna do it. One day I was in a class with Jimmy. Jimmy owns Hot House Yoga.
Yes.
It was a noontime class, and he was doing a stability class, and it was almost halfway through, and he walked by me and he says, "It's hot in here, Marilyn, isn't it?" And I said, "Yeah, it is."
Yeah.
And he never, nobody ever talks to you in there. And I was just kind of shocked that he looked at me and he said, just look me straight in the eye and said, "It's hot in here, isn't it?" I was like,
he was acknowledging where you were at that moment.
I guess so. I guess so. But
and the fact that you were persevering through the heat.
Regardless
of the heat.
Regardless, because it's like when I look at some of the people's skin and they put their arms up for water.
And they're glistening.
And their skin is glistening. It's like, I want that glisten. And then I look, it's like, oh, I have the glisten. I am really, really sweating.
You're glowing.
I'm glowing. I'm sweating. I'm getting rid of the toxins. That's the way I feel.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, I'm making it through this class.
So now you know what it is that Marilyn comes for. She comes for the glisten.
For the glisten.
I'm so
She
glad.
comes for the glisten.
I'll add one more thing to that. You asked me what the mindset was. It's courage has a big part of it too.
It does.
Especially for a teacher, you can't give what you don't have. You can't share what you don't have to give. So for me, I like to theme my classes. I love getting into the yoga, the asana, which is the movement. I love making sure that people are getting the physical benefits of it because they come for that in many ways.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to yoga than just the movement and just strength and flexibility. There's spiritual principles, and we're trying to give people tools for living and navigating the world in a better way. Courage comes in for me as a teacher when I know I have themes. I'm trying to speak from my heart and offer them something that is very vulnerable and so it takes courage to do that. Sometimes
to be vulnerable.
Yeah, you can be really hesitant, like you don't want to appear too sensitive or too vulnerable. You don't know what people will think of you. So getting past all those insecurities and not being afraid to really share what's in your heart.
But that's what people want. Courage. They want someone who's genuine in the process. I mean, you don't want somebody who's just doing it for the job, doing it for the money.
Right.
I'm here because you paid me to be here. Yeah. I'm here because, yes, there's value that I'm giving, but I want to make sure that it's an exchange, that I'm getting something back that fuels you for that next process.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the temperature of the room?
Yeah,
you don't want to know.
Yes, I do.
You don't.
Yes, I do. The audience wants to know, what's the temperature of the hot yoga room?
It can vary depending on, usually I'll set it right at 106, 107.
Okay,
at about
it's 40, the humidity.
At about 40% humidity. Now that'll fluctuate depending on how many people are there, depending on the temperature outside. So it'll go up and down. It'll sometimes spike up to like 114, 115, and come back down to 103, 104. It just depends on the day, but most of the time,
no fans or anything.
I'm going.
I don't think about how hot it is in there.
I wanted to know what the temperature is.
Yeah. So it's hot, but the air is still. You're not like sitting in just stale air. It's still a well ventilated system.
And sometimes if you're over closer to the
you might get
wall,
a breeze.
There's a door there's a door there. Of course, it doesn't open up, but sometimes you can get this cool breeze, and sometimes you can take advantage of that. You don't have it all the time, but. People it's interesting because I said something to one of the gals there and I said, sometimes I feel this cool breeze. She says, that comes out of that door. So for a while I was parking my body
near the door.
So I could take, but then I was a little bit concerned because I didn't want
to get the giraffe in the
I didn't want to get the giraffe and then get risk getting sick.
Right.
That's not something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But
and it defeats the purpose.
Exactly. So I like hot yoga. It's very therapeutic, very therapeutic. It's better than going to PT.
Yeah.
You know, I call it going. I don't call it going into the yoga room. I call it going into the yoga womb.
It's the womb.
Because, and I've written a blog, and I'm going to get my blog out.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel secure. I feel protected.
Yeah.
I feel
love that.
I'm being cuddled by the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that probably sounds weird.
No, that sounds like
that.
what you would expect it to be.
But I just feel, okay, and this is my time. I've gotten to the mindset where when I go to yoga, this is my time.
Yeah.
I leave everything else out in the car.
Yeah.
You know, I leave my emotions, I leave just because my goal is to stay focused.
Yeah.
And Steve, a colleague of mine, Steve Taubman, wrote this book called Buddha in the Trenches. And I want him on my show, Steve. So if you're watching, we got to talk about you getting zoomed in on my show. He's a chiropractor from Vermont.
Cool.
Okay.
And he talks about focus being a muscle. You want to zero in on that, Michael? And it, you know, the Buddha in the Trenches, it teaches the art, science, and philosophy of turning your life's battlefields into playgrounds. And
I like
he
that.
makes it sound, he makes life easy when you read this book. And this is like the third time I read this book.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy is wonderful. He just has a lot of insight in life. So anyhow, yeah. So if you want to get this book, it's called Buddha in the Trenches. It's awesome. He doesn't know I'm doing this.
Okay.
I do this
We're in
because
Vermont.
I love to. I don't
That's
know
my
where he is
that's
in
my neck of
Vermont.
the woods.
But he has a dog. He has, I think it's what's the poodle? The big dog. It's a
Snickerpoodle.
No, it's not a snickerpoodle. It's a
Okay.
golden retriever and a poodle. I can't remember what it is.
A
It's
raboodle.
called a poodle. Nah.
That's what I call it.
It's called
That's what I was like.
oh, I can't remember. Anyhow, it's a big dog, but he looks like a big poodle.
It's a poodle.
Yeah, it's a poodle.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, it's a great book, and he has a big dog, and his name is Woody, and I'll remember what the name, it's a poodle and something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a big dog, though. I mean, he had a picture on Facebook where the dog, Woody, was hugging him, and Woody's like a whole foot taller than he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the dog is a big dog. So, anyhow. But I also want to talk about my dear friend who keeps me motivated, who keeps me accountable, Aubrey Eicher. Aubrey, if you're watching this, which I'm sure you are.
Hi, Aubrey.
Hi,
Love
Aubrey.
you.
We love
Thank you for
you.
being here last week.
Yes, and she's got a fresh start, and she has started a program, a 12-week program to change your life. Literally change your, and she has changed my life. Like I said, she has me doing things that I never thought I could do.
You never thought you would do.
Yeah. Because she says you can do it, and when somebody says I can do it, they talk me. Okay, if they say I can do it, I'll try it.
Yeah.
You have to have people that believe in you to work with you.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So she has a studio down in the Fan. You can get in touch with her at Richmond Wellness, richmond-wellness.com. And she does these virtually too. So if you don't live near us in the beautiful Richmond area, get in touch with her because she can do this virtually with you. It is a commitment, but my suggestion is if you really want to do something for yourself, start investing in yourself.
Yeah.
It's important
It's really
because if you invest in yourself, I mean, you can buy tchotchke things and all that, but that's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Investing in yourself is the most important thing that you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
Truly.
More mindset. Because
Right.
even when, some of our yoga clients will come in, they're trying it out, they may be a little bit put off when they see prices of memberships. I'm like, well, it's not really expensive. It just depends on how you look at it.
Are you worthy?
These are investments.
Are you worth it?
What is your health and wellness worth
To you.
you
Right.
know?
So it does not, it's so important to invest in yourself. Right, Josie? And Josie has this, I love this shirt that Josie has on. Josie, what are you up to?
Okay, so Defense Mode, my shirt is representative of Damsel in Defense, and today is Awareness Day for Human Trafficking. So that's what I've been doing the past couple of weeks. I've been attending
That's why we haven't seen
meetings and events related to to protecting children. So last week when I wasn't here, I got trained as a steward for children to really help protect children and to be involved with Stop Child Abuse Now.
Yeah.
And then today being National Human Trafficking Awareness Day, which is really crucial because Virginia is number 12 on the list of states for human and sexual trafficking. So
Really?
our proximity to 95 and 64 has us really positioned.
And 295 too. All those major highways.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of major highways that run through this area.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of
part
them.
of what I do with Damsel in Defense is to help people learn to be in defense mode. And on Sunday at Artworks, I have a warrior workshop that will teach people how to protect themselves, how to have situational awareness, and
right,
if you're
yeah.
in the situation, how to safely get out of it.
Yeah.
So, and what time is that on
3:30
Sunday?
to 5, Artwork Studio, 320 Hall Street in the Manchester
In
district.
Manchester, yeah.
Right.
Damsel in Defense.
Right. So go
My
see
website
Josie.
is todefendher.com.
So it's just not women, it's men,
no.
it's children,
Yes.
it's people. People.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
everybody
and
needs
then
to know how to
normally when it
protect.
happens, you're not focused. When something like that would happen,
Right.
you lose focus.
You lose focus.
So, like Steve Taubman talks about, focus is a muscle. You have to treat it like a
train
muscle.
it.
You have to train it.
Yeah.
You have to practice it, right?
You have to practice it.
That's why I go to hot yoga,
Yeah.
because I'm practicing.
Yeah.
I'm practicing staying focused. It's helped me stay focused during the day. It
Yeah.
really has.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
and it's getting that mental muscle, and that's
Yeah.
one of the things we'll do in the class is to get that mental muscle of what to do should something occur, so that you're not stuck like a deer in headlights.
Right. Right.
Because, you know, when you're not focused and you're caught, you know.
And you're an easy victim
You're
then.
not aware of what's going on,
You're
or you're
unaware.
just, you're unaware, and
Yeah.
something happens. You know, you have to really get yourself focused like that.
Yeah.
You know, and he was having a Facebook Live thing a couple weeks ago on Facebook, and somebody
who is that?
asked, this is Steve Taubman.
Okay.
And somebody asked him on Facebook, typed it in, what happens when you're at your work and you're really focused on something at your desk and your boss pulls you away? You know, what do you do? How do you get back to what you were doing at your desk?
Yeah.
And he said, actually, that's a good thing because it trains you to bring your focus back to what you're doing at your desk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when people are doing something and they get distracted by something else, or somebody needs their help or whatever, it's so important to make sure that you get that focus back. You know, even if it takes you a couple extra minutes or something, what am I doing? How do I do this? Let me get it back. You know, it's important to make sure that you're organized enough to get back to focus.
Yeah.
But it takes practice.
It takes work and practice.
It
You
takes
have to
work and
build it.
practice.
Right.
It takes discipline.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
you want a good mindset, you have to have discipline.
Yeah. You have to consistently show up to it every day and just work bit by bit.
Bit by bit to
Bit
work
by
through
bit.
it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to take mini steps.
Yeah.
Mini steps to get it done. There was a
Eat that frog.
yeah.
One bite at a time.
That's right. But taking the mini steps really helps get you back to what you need to do. I mean, there was a section of my day-to-day where I had to take mini steps to get back to what I was doing. And I got distracted by something, and I turned it off and went back to what I was doing. And that was part of the focus. I got distracted with some social media, and it's like, no, Marilyn, you're not doing this. You're supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
That's a big time stealer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a sucker. It's a time
Yeah.
sucker. It's awful.
So I have to schedule the time that I'm on there. I might do something early in the morning, and most of the time I'm not back on until the afternoon,
I've done
unless
that.
I have to do a Facebook Live or I'm doing something.
Sure,
But
yeah.
you know, you could so easily get caught up in you go looking for one thing, or let me comment on that. Oh, let me like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's a time snatcher.
Yeah, and
It is.
one way I think learning how to celebrate ourselves when we do have those little small victories, when we do those small things, is a really critical piece of like maintaining that mindset and keeping your focus locked in. Because we all slip up and do things, we get unconscious and do things that we're not proud of, but if we learn to celebrate the small victories, like, man, I almost got distracted. I almost turned the TV on when I needed to get some work done. Man, I did a good job. I didn't do it. That's awesome.
Right.
Just giving yourself a pat on the back. And a lot of us will always punish ourselves or criticize ourselves when we do something that we're not proud of.
Self-criticism is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
And I grew up with criticism. I lived in criticism a long time, and it's his take. And what has really helped me?
Yeah.
Aubrey has helped me.
Yeah.
Brian has helped me.
Thank you.
And my husband, Zen, has helped me get back focused because I see him focused all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is just, he's a great teacher for me. He probably doesn't know this, but he is a great teacher because I will go into his office and I'll say, can you help me with such and such? Yeah, I'll help you right now. But you're busy. No, I can do it right now. And he does that.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel good. I feel bad that I'm taking him away from something, but he can get right back to it. You know, and watching him do that is really a good lesson to how I can better myself by staying more focused. Because friends, if you're going to be more focused, that's when you're going to find success. And getting out of your comfort zone, doing something that you never did before, ever, and you don't think you can do, like if you want to go zip lining or whatever. That's something I want to do someday.
Zip line? I want to hang glide.
Yeah. Well, you can do that down at...
Oh, I know you can. I just haven't worked up the nerve. I've watched it. I go to Kitty Hawk and I watch. I haven't worked up the nerve, but that's on that's on a to-do list.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah. I used to do parasailing, though, when I was in 15. We used to, we water skied because we lived down at the shore. Yeah. And I did some parasailing. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marilyn, one of the things that you said that made me think about, when we get those distractions, it's also okay to say not right now.
Right.
To be okay to say,
Really
not right now. And that was one of my practices of learning to say no.
Yeah.
And not being that ultimate people pleaser. And to be okay to say no, not right now. Can I get that to you later?
Yeah.
And especially now with my husband being retired and being home, I was used to having my space all day to myself.
That's right.
And
That's
so
a big
now,
change.
the fact that he's there and he'll come into my office and he'll be like, well, can you do such and such? And at first I would try to jump up to do it for him, and now can I get with you at 3:00 after I finish this task?
Right.
Or I'll say to him ahead of time, for this next period of time, I'm going to be doing this. Is there something you need before I start? Because if not, I'll be available again at a certain time.
That's so
I've
good.
been doing that on Thursdays.
That's so
for my show. Somebody I was supposed to be talking to somebody at 4:30 today, and they called like 4:15. Well, I had my phone on vibrate because I was waiting for the 4:30 call, and the person left a message, and he says, well, and I called him back. He says, well, we can talk at 5. And I said, no, I can't talk at 5 because that's when I start getting ready for my show.
Yeah. And it's okay, and
okay.
people, I think, value and appreciate, and
and there's usually some kind of deeper trauma that's coming from like the need to feel like I always have to prioritize everybody else's stuff
need to please
over mine. Where does that really come from? I might just feel like I'm not really good enough, or that my needs don't matter as much as other people. So learning how to lovingly prioritize your own aspirations, putting those things first, not at the detriment of other people, but just saying this is important for me.
It's teaching self-respect.
Yeah, teaching self-respect. And a lot of us are not comfortable setting those boundaries. We've been taught that it's like not safe, or we don't really know what boundaries are, or just like it's not safe to set them. So
I know for me, growing up, I always heard, don't be selfish, don't always think about yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So that message, I had to forgive them for not knowing better, and understand that they taught me what they knew, but that I'm worthy of being able to say no. So it's not that I'm not appreciating people wanting me to do things, but I have to say no. And not because I'm selfish, but because self-love is my priority.
Right.
So, and that could be selfish, but it's a good thing. You got to be selfish for you.
You got to be selfish for you because, like I said, wherever you go, there you are. You can't escape you.
Don't
and
want
you
to.
don't. I don't want to escape.
Don't
me.
want to.
Yeah.
I'm the best me I know.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of escape, Lisa Hazelgrove, you know Lisa. She's been on my show before. She has also been in my co-host. She sat in for you a couple times. She has a company called Lisa Healthy.
Cool.
Lisa Healthy, and she is right now. She's teaching at U of R again. She's back at U of R teaching sleep. She talks about sleep. Ooh. She's a sleep lecturer. Yeah. Sleep is like the best thing that you can do for yourself. My grandmother used to say, when you're sick, sleep is the best thing for you. Just go do it.
Yeah.
You know? And so she has this company called Lisa Healthy, and she talks about sleep, and she's teaching sleep at U of R, like I said. But she also talks about the emotion code, and she's taking clients on for that. So if anybody's interested, you can get in touch with Lisa. You can email her at lisa@lisahealthy.com. Check on her Facebook page at Lisa Healthy, or give her a call at 804-539-3251. That's 804-539-3251. She can really help you if you have issues, or sometimes people have things that they don't understand what's going on with them, and then they find out that it's been an emotion that's been pushed back for years, or maybe in another lifetime or something like that. I mean, I believe in other lifetimes. I believe our soul is energy. It has to go someplace. I have too.
Absolutely. I believe that.
I'll be back too.
I will too.
I believe that.
I believe that your soul is energy, and energy doesn't die.
It doesn't die.
So where's it going to go?
Yeah.
It just
it goes up into the universe,
and
but I think eventually we
form.
come back until we can keep getting it right.
Yeah.
Your purpose is never over.
That's right. That's right. So she talks about that. So if you have something that's been bugging you and you don't quite understand what's going on, it could be something in the back of your mind and you just can't grasp onto it, or something that you're afraid of, and you're trying to conquer that fear, like, I don't know, the height. I get vertigo when I look down. I don't do well with heights. I'm working on that though, because I really believe that the reason why I might be getting vertigo is because I'm afraid to fall. So I'm working through that.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm not really afraid to fall, even though I fell 9 months ago. But I don't know. When I look down, like even when I'm on a stool, I look down and I get kind of vertigo.
There's that balance of feeling that you don't have that control between here and there.
Right.
So there's not that balance that you can't fly in between.
I'd like to.
Theoretically, you can't.
Unless you have one of those neat suits that look like the bat wings. Haven't you seen them?
I love those.
They fly off the cliff.
Yeah.
You should get one.
You think I should get one?
I think so. Yeah.
We'll come watch you.
Yeah.
You'll cheer me on, right?
Yeah.
I sure will.
That certainly would cure me on my height, wouldn't it? But I think those suits are neat.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And they're so colorful.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Even
I love
parachutes
daredevils.
or balloon. Well, you love what?
I said I love daredeviling types of things.
Yeah.
My daredevil
Flying
thing.
through
Let
the
me
air.
tell you what my daredevil thing is. Aubrey. Aubrey is my daredevil thing because she has me walking in hot weather, in cold weather, we don't walk in inclement weather. But she has me, like, one day it was raining. She says, okay, we're going to do the Cupid Shuffle. It's like, what's that? What is that? And then, she had me doing? She had me doing, are you ready for the plank Cupid Shuffle.
I want to see you do that.
Well, I've got a video of it. I'll show you sometime. She took a video of it. Aubrey, that does not give you permission to put it on Facebook.
Right. I heard she had you in there dancing the Cupid Shuffle. I was so excited.
Yeah. So we were doing the Cupid Shuffle. We were doing the electric slide. We were doing another one too. The cha-cha shuffle.
Y'all were doing all the dances.
Yes. We were really
We can take you to the club now, Marilyn.
We need to go
You'll
out,
fit right in.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it was fun. But then she had me doing the plank Cupid Shuffle. That is an aerobics exercise all its own.
I don't think I know that one.
I was going to say, I'm trying to visualize. I know the plank now.
You're
but
on the plank.
Are you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're
so
moving.
You're
Moving your legs though. You're not
Okay.
moving your arms. Your arms are steady.
Oh, that's a great one.
Wow.
Your arms are steady, and you're not on your elbows.
That's
you're not on
intense.
your forearm. You're on your hands.
Wow.
And you're on your feet. So it's like the plank.
Ooh.
And then you're moving your legs and you're moving your hips and
Yeah.
you're doing, and she's going, go, Marilyn, go, go.
Yeah.
She videoed it. And it's like, okay, we're not putting that on Facebook, Aubrey, not yet. We're going to do another one next week, I promise. So, yeah. So that's, talk about being out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That is like way out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know?
But there is power in stepping out of your comfort zone.
There is.
And as you've put it before, there is no comfort zone. There's no box.
No, there is no box.
It's all about life
There
experiences.
is a comfort zone, but there's no box.
But once you've done it, you're already gone from
I'm
it.
constantly
You
getting
just keep
out
on
of my
moving.
comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's part of mindset. Getting the courage and the intestinal
Just doing
fortitude
something new.
and the grit to get out of your comfort zone.
I think a lot of us look at life from that kind of scarce mindset, that kind of limiting mindset. And
Right.
we don't really, it's not until we push ourselves past it that we realize, man, I've been kind of holding myself back, afraid to experience things. Like when people come into the hot room, they're worried about the heat. They're worried about all these things. When really, once they get started, they realize that, okay, I'm here. This is my journey. It's not about anybody else but me.
Right.
The heat kind of goes away, and it's like, okay, I see. I understand now. I get it. And it takes time to build it. But, like moving out of
You
that
gotta
place
take
of
that first
limitation
step.
and scarcity
Right.
and choosing to jump, dive
Right,
in.
choosing to jump.
Yeah.
Do the growth mindset. Don't do the fixed mindset.
Yeah.
Fixed mindset is like, I've learned all that I want to do, and I'm not going to
That's
do anything
impossible.
else.
Yeah.
And you get into that zone where you're either afraid to try something new.
Yeah.
You don't want to try something new. You're not interested. And sometimes we get into that, like if we're having a rough day or something.
But you don't want to live there.
No,
You
but you've got to get into the growth mindset where you're growing,
Yeah.
where you're learning,
Yeah.
where you're improving on your successes. And talk about improving on successes. We had a great show last week with
Yeah.
Dove Barron, and we zoomed him in from Vancouver. And when I did that, I
was a
can
risk-taking.
do anything.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the
Yes.
world is my oyster,
Yeah.
And I was nervous that day. I got rid of the nerves, but the butterflies, they weren't leaving right away. And it's like, you need to go. You really need to go. So I was taking homeopathic remedies, but and Aubrey was here last week, and this was a great show. So if you have not watched this show with Dove Barron and Fiercely Loyal, and he talked a lot about millennials, and I said, Aubrey's a millennial, and I did not realize, but millennials, the oldest millennial now is 38.
Yeah.
That's my daughter's age.
I was
Yeah,
surprised by
my
the
children.
age range too.
Yeah. And somebody last night when I was at a networking event, they talked about that was the first wave of millennials.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
From I guess like 30 to 38, that's like the first wave, and then there was a second wave,
Okay,
and I guess
interesting.
then the Gen X came in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a baby boomer.
I've been
Josie's a
grandfathered in.
baby. Yeah.
No, my son told me he grandfathered me into millennial.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Yeah, he
Oh,
told me
that's cool.
I could
Now,
fit
how
in with
old
it.
is he?
He's 30. Let's see, I'm 63. He'll be 33
33.
in December. My daughter's
He's
38.
still in the first wave. He's
My
still
daughter's
in the-
38.
38.
Is she?
So she's-
our daughters are the same age. Yeah. So if you are interested in being a leader, which when you get in the right mindset, you can do anything.
Yeah.
The world is your oyster. You can soar to places where you never thought you could.
Yeah.
Start
stay
making
young.
a bucket list.
Yeah.
Start making a bucket list of things that you want to do, like you never thought you could do, you never had the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
Any of those, and that'll help get you into the mindset of what you really want to do.
Right. And commit yourself to that just sharpening your own saw, committing yourself to your personal growth, just deciding that your growth is important to you. And it's a priority to me that I am going to stay flexible and fluid and open to new things. A lot of us, I think we just reach a point where, we talked about it earlier, like we stop learning,
We
or we feel like we
I think a lot of
have
people,
it figured out.
they think that you're supposed to arrive at some point in life.
Yeah.
And there's no arrival point.
No.
The journey is continuous.
It's continuous.
stops.
It's
So
forever
it's
and
not
ever.
that I'm now an adult and so everything else. My husband used to complain that I was still acting like a child, and I said, great.
Yeah.
You know, that's wonderful. You know,
Yeah.
don't try to make
He
me grow up.
complained about
Well, when we'd be places with the kids, and I was the one doing plies in the mall, and just silly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's okay.
he wanted me to have order over the process, and the kids were ordered. I wasn't. So
Well, see, that's your past, too. Like you told me before, girlfriend, that's your
but
past.
it's still
Yeah.
my present.
Does he still do that to
Oh
you?
no. Mm-mm. No, he understands me. I mean, this is when we were first married, and we were learning
Sure.
what spousehood, parenthood was all about.
Ah.
Sure.
So there were those things of expectation of what a parent is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I never fit that role of what a person's supposed to be in that time frame. Now he understands that we're both kids.
Right.
We're both kids, and so, but you got to have that youth, got to have the desire, that fire enough
Yeah.
to be adventurous. And I'm a risk taker.
Absolutely.
So
So
I'll
that's
try
all the
something.
more reason why you should go can gliding, girlfriend, if you're
Yeah.
a risk taker.
Will do.
I'll go with you.
My mother was
Yeah.
65 when she did her first. She did a 10K last year. So we
Did
walked.
she?
I went out. My mother, her sister, and myself. I walked it with them, and to see them in their people are just getting started at 60
yeah.
years of age. It's beautiful when you just decide that your growth is important. It's
Yeah.
it's a value. I don't have to stop. I don't have to.
And you
And you don't have to
it's-
fit anybody else's opinion of what you're doing
Yeah.
or fall into anybody else's box or criteria or expectation. You do your own thing, and what people think of you is really none of your business at that point.
what people think of you is their business, not your
Yeah, it's
business.
not my
Yeah.
business.
Right.
I can't change
And
it.
it's never too late to do something new.
Yeah.
Never. I reinvented myself about a year and a half ago.
Love
Healthy
it.
living with
You know.
Marilyn.
Yeah.
That's right. I started Healthy Living with Marilyn, I guess, November of 2016. And it was different. It was exciting. It was crazy. I was still watching grandchildren,
Yeah.
And when my daughter said this past July, she says, well, I'm going to put him in preschool and daycare. I was crushed at 1st. Crushed. And she left.
Freedom.
And she left, and then my intuition said, Marilyn, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can fly now. You can do whatever you want. You can explore, and you can just grow Healthy Living with Marilyn. And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. I mean, Josie's inspiration was something that I did years ago with the Blog Talk show, but then
Yeah.
this year I decided to brand it.
Yeah.
So now I'm a brand. I'm Josie's Inspiration
Absolutely.
Incorporated.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take it to the next level to,
Yeah.
do all the paperwork so that there are other things I want to do.
Yeah.
And there's no limits to us.
No,
Yeah.
and if you
No
don't
limits.
try, how are you going to know if
How
you're
can
going
you
to
really
be?
know?
And
Yeah.
part of learning is failing. It's okay to fail.
Fail forward.
It's fail forward.
Yeah.
And as Joyce Meyer would say, do it afraid. Just do it.
Yeah.
Do it afraid.
Yeah.
That grows you.
Yeah, change is constant. Change is gonna always happen. With a
Right.
with a growth mindset, you can adapt to changes. Growth is always a decision that you make. Change is gonna happen no matter what.
That's
You
right.
need to go with the change.
Yeah. So you can decide to grow, decide to expand, decide to evolve. Whether it's 35 years of age or 65 or 70 years of age. Like Maya Angelou talked to Oprah. I watched this interview. She's like, I'm 80 years old. Why would I want to be any other age? Like, do it. Choose the 80s if you can.
Yes.
And I thought that was really beautiful to say, man, it really doesn't matter how old
Right.
No.
Well,
I
and
am.
I'm glad you mentioned Maya Angelou. I was talking to
Yeah.
somebody about that this morning, and she just made a really wonderful statement one time. People will listen to what you say, and people might understand what you say,
It's
but
about how they
people
make you
will
feel.
never, ever forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And that's why I do Healthy Living with Marilyn, because I want you to know that we care.
Yeah.
We really care, and that's why we do this show. And we want you to know that we care. And we want you to know that you're important. They're really important to us, aren't they, Joe?
Oh,
aren't they, Brian?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So important to us.
Definitely.
And
one person's life is affected positively.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
That's what matters.
That's what matters. If you've learned something tonight, you know, make a comment. I can't get to my phone right now, but I guarantee you, if you make comments, send emojis, send your loves, your likes, your wows, your laughter, your ha-has, and comment. I promise you, I will comment and get back with you before the night's out. Seriously. Because I care about each and every one of you. Wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in the United States or wherever, because we're global. International. You know, we care. I really care about you.
Yeah.
And that's why we do these shows. And that's why we're talking about mindset tonight, because having that positive mindset, you got to work at it. It's not given to you. Yeah. You know, I work at it every day now. When I discovered it, and it wasn't too long ago that I just, you know, finally realized, okay, because if you want to do something, you might not want to do it because you don't have the mindset. You need to have the mindset. You have to,
yeah.
And you know, Marilyn, people might be thinking they want to come to one of the hot yoga classes. So, Brian,
how do we get in touch with you? How do they get in touch with you at Hot Yoga?
Oh my goodness! So hothouseyogarva.com. The full schedule is posted there. I myself teach on
Slow
Saturday.
down and say that again.
I'm so sorry. Hothouseyogi.com or Hot House Yoga RVA. You just Google Hot House Yoga RVA.
Okay.
You'll see our full schedule. There's tons of classes during the week, Sunday.
And you're
to Sunday.
where?
And we are in the West End, right at Gaskins and Broad, just down off of Maryland Avenue.
They're 8 minutes from where we are right now.
Yeah.
I don't have an excuse not to go.
Yeah.
You know, I am 8 minutes away. So it makes it easy when I want to do a 6 o'clock, because I can leave like 20 minutes to 6 and get over there.
There's so much variety. We have lots of new classes that we just added.
Right.
So much variety on the schedule, something for everybody. I teach on Saturdays at noon and Saturdays at 1:30. But look at the schedule and find what works for you. Come out and see us and start training your mindset and getting yourself into a growth mentality to really just take life on.
And so on Saturday you have that lower level hot yoga that starts
it's not a lower level. It's just a shorter class.
What's it called?
It's a stability
class. It's a stability 45, which means it's 45 minutes.
Yeah, so it's not designed to be quote unquote easier. It's more beginner friendly because of the style of class that it is.
And that's your noon Saturday.
That's the noon. The noon Saturday is a 1 hour class. The 1:30 Saturday is a 45 minute class.
45 minute.
Okay.
Right.
If you want to go there sometime, you let me know. I'll go with you.
Yeah.
So the noon is the flow. And the 1:30?
They're both stability classes.
They're both stability.
The noon is 1 hour. The 1:30 is 45. This is a stationary type sequence where you do a posture, rest, do a posture, rest. So it's a different kind of feel and different rhythm than a flow.
So you do a posture and you get into the mountain pose. And then you do another posture and you get into the mountain pose. It's wonderful.
Oh, I understand it. I want them to know.
Yeah. Also
it's really good.
Really, really valuable, really helpful to build the foundation of and the balance of strength and flexibility in your body, and to really start working your mindset.
But the other thing is, it helps build the balance in your life.
Yeah.
Yoga helps build the balance in your life. But anything that you're doing will help build balance in your life. Regardless of if you're running or if you're walking or cycling or riding, it all builds balance. And we all need balance, right, Joe?
Yeah.
And balance isn't 50-50.
No.
Balance can be any level where you're going to feel that you are at the place that you need to be at.
That's right.
Because people think balance means that everything is
like it's a scale.
It's not an equilibrium.
It's not an equilibrium.
It's a place where you know where you are and that you can handle it.
Yeah. Wherever your balance is.
That's balance, right.
You know, it might be 60-40. It might be 70-30.
And it changes.
And it changes. It changes
regularly.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. So it's very, and my husband's saying, yeah, Marilyn, wrap it up, wrap it up. I want to thank you for joining us tonight at Healthy Living with Marilyn. I hope that you have a wonderful week and enjoy your weekend. I don't know what it's supposed to be like this weekend, but it'll be beautiful anyhow, wherever you live.
That's right.
That's right.
If you're above ground, it's a beautiful day.
That's right. I always am so happy I get up on this side of the sod because it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And we will see you soon.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week. We're going to have Greg Dow on. He is an acupuncturist. And,
I love my acupuncture.
So we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
And bye-bye. And Have a great weekend. Love you, and do yourself a favor and be amazing. Bye.
Thank you, guys.